And I want you to know the Bible has a great deal to say about righteousness. Will you say that word for me? Righteousness. It's amazing. You don't hear a whole lot of people talking about righteousness and holiness anymore. No wonder we are uncovered. We have stripped off and thrown to the wind any semblance of righteousness and holiness. It is designed for our protection. When you talk about righteous and holy, most people think that you're being a prude, that you're being stuck up, a goody two-shoes, that you're better than everybody else. No. This is about protection. The underlying word behind the Hebrew word sadak, it is translated as just, or it is translated as righteous. And it is the idea of conformity to a standard. Conformity to a standard. When you're talking about righteousness, it is about conformity to a standard. In the Old Testament, saints were considered righteous when their personal and their interpersonal behavior conformed to the moral and ethical norms established by God. Established by God. When their personal behavior and their interpersonal behavior, how they interacted with other people, conformed to the moral and ethical norms established by God. Now, let me say this to you unequivocally here, that there is no greater protection from evil than doing what is right. There is no greater protection from evil than doing what is right. There is no greater protection from evil than doing what is right. Now, righteousness cannot be determined by what is popular. Please understand that righteousness cannot be determined by what is popular, because righteousness is not popular in most cultures. Righteousness cannot be determined by what is morally acceptable. Let me say that again. Righteousness cannot be determined by what is morally acceptable. I mean, just think about how our morality has changed and declined over the years. Our morality about sexual behavior, sex outside of marriage. I mean, even Christians, so-called Christians in the church, have little to no morality about, it's just, even among Christian people, if you're dating somebody, you know, it's just the norm that you're just having sex. I mean, we've declined in that moral standard of righteousness. In that moral standard of righteousness, it has declined in America. It's become morally acceptable. They don't even look at it anymore that somebody spent the night over your house. They don't even think anything about it anymore. But that, they're living together. And they come to church. And they have no compunction that something is wrong with this picture. They have no compunction that it sets a wrong standard and value for your young children. This is not my opinion. This is established by God. This was long here before I got here. This is not about me. I'm just trying to help you to understand that our righteousness cannot be determined by what is morally acceptable in society. It is not determined by what is morally acceptable in society. Think about in our society today how common the use of profanity is. People, it used to be years ago that if a person used profanity, if a man used profanity in the presence of a woman, he would say, "Excuse me." And now, but doggone it, women are not cussing men out. Our language has just deteriorated. The morality of having a decency and a respect just in our language